Hey my sweet pen friends, hope you're all doing well. 2022 is right around the corner, so I thought that I would sit down today and share with you my planners and journals that I plan to use for this upcoming year. So I would say that my planning system or style has evolved a lot, but more recently, I think I identify most as an intuitive planner. I kind of just go with the flow and see what my needs are at any particular moment. I've given myself permission to switch planner systems intermittently as I see fit, but I always seem to come back to the bullet journal system. I think the last time I checked in with you guys, I was working in this notebook as my bullet journal, and this is the Mikkel reuse notebook. I'll have everything that I can find linked up in the description box below if you'd like to take a closer look. But this is a very thick notebook and just a lot of room to grow and evolve in terms of different bullet journal spreads. I started this bullet journal in late February 2020 and then switched into a different notebook and then came back to it sometime this year. The last couple spreads that I did in here are around late October/early November, and I started to feel an itch, a yearning to have a more traditional bullet journal system. This was also right around the time that I was getting ready to start school, and like I mentioned earlier, this notebook is really thick, and in terms of carrying a school bag, I thought it would be better to kind of simplify in terms of the size. And again, I identify as an intuitive planner, so just something was pulling me to switch notebooks and refresh what I was doing. And that brings me to this notebook. I want to give special thanks to the bullet journal team for sending this beautiful bullet journal edition 2 over in the blush color. It is a gorgeous notebook, and I'm just so stoked to actually have an official bullet journal notebook. When I first started bullet journaling, I think one of the main advantages or benefits to how entry level and beginner friendly it is that you can use any notebook. And so that's how I started. I just grabbed a notebook and I started to develop spreads that I thought would help me organize and manage my time a little bit better. If you're new to bullet journaling, I still think that's an excellent option. Use what you have, but I would still encourage you to look into the official bullet journal system, because there are things in here that have just increased my efficiency and productivity. Being back in school has been a bit of a whirlwind, and I've found that every minute, every moment really counts in terms of trying to make the most of it and being more routine in my systems. The bullet journal has so many things, so many very thoughtful details that has just helped simplify and streamline how I plan. Having this hardcover on the bullet journal just kind of put my mind at ease, knowing that none of the pages were going to get messed up. It has the elastic closure so that it stays closed shut when I need it to. And of course, it has all of the essentials. It has a back pocket for storing things, as well as the ribbon bookmarks. I like that there are 3 of them, because I've had notebooks where there are only 2, and I always seem to find a need for one more bookmark. On the inside of the front cover, I love how they have gorgeously mapped out all of the measurements for the dot grid. It's been a wonderful resource in measuring out my spreads so far, and I've kept it pretty simple, so I really enjoy that aspect about it. There's also a little Venn diagram on the front where your what bridges with your why. I like that reminder. What is it that I'm doing and why am I doing it? When those 2 things meet, that's the sweet spot. There's also the traditional bullet journal key, as well as a page to set your intentions, and then a space for the traditional index, which honestly I haven't had time to fill out, but I think that goes back to how entry level and how accessible this bullet journal can be. You can dive right in and start wherever you need to. So I've done a couple of weekly spreads in here and have kept it very simple, just sort of a monochromatic setup here, and it's worked for me so far, and I feel like I really needed that. My whole schedule has been turned inside out, and it's like I'm learning my routines all over again, trying to fit in and put together this puzzle that is my life. So this has helped tremendously. Some other beautiful additions in this latest edition of the bullet journal include these wonderfully done stickers. I like how minimal they are and just really help set the tone for what the bullet journal system can be for anyone. And then there's a little booklet at the end, which I think is just phenomenal if you're first starting out. Whenever I have mentioned bullet journaling or keeping a bullet journal to anyone outside of the stationery community, the first thought that they share with me is, wow, I can't believe that you have a bullet journal. It must be so overwhelming. Or I've always wanted to start bullet journaling, but there's just so much information to take in. I don't know where to start. This booklet is just a wonderful summary as to how to get started. And I think it gives enough direction for helping guide you into the bullet journal world without taking away the creative freedom that comes with the bullet journal method. So I really like that they included that. And there's even a QR code that you can scan so you can dive deeper into the bullet journal system. I can't say enough good things about the bullet journal edition 2. It's just been a wonderful refresh in terms of my planning style and system. So I really look forward to using it in this upcoming year. If you want to learn more about the bullet journal system, I'll leave a link in the description box below, so feel free to check that out. And thank you so much again to the bullet journal team for sharing this with all of us. So the headlines in my most recent videos, including this one, is that I'm back in school, and I bring this up again just because my journal / planner system has shifted a lot to cater to where I'm spending the majority of my time, and that's either when I'm in school or studying for school. And I would not be the true stationery nerd that I am if I didn't have a dedicated school bullet journal system. So the last time that you guys saw this notebook, it was looking pretty plain, but I've since decorated it with a bunch of stickers. And let me just say that the disc bound system it's perfect for being back in this academic lifestyle, because I can take out the pages and reorganize them as I need to. And there's just been a lot of note taking, a lot of written assignments where maybe I have to turn it in, or I don't need to keep it in my notebook at all times. So having this very simple, interchangeable, customizable setup, all of these catchy marketing terms, it really has made my life a lot easier in terms of transitioning into something that I'm not really used to, or I'm still getting used to. So the official bullet journal serves as my main planning system for scheduling things out and kind of giving myself a bird's eye view of what's going on. But in this school notebook, I use the term school bullet journal very loosely in describing what this notebook is for. So I really love it, and will definitely be using it going into 2022. I have to be honest, I haven't had a lot of time to journal since I started school again, but it's definitely a resource that I want to keep in the front of my mind when I'm feeling a little stressed or overwhelmed, or even really just overjoyed and wanting to express like my current gratitude. So morning pages. I have a whole video talking about morning pages and have mentioned it numerous times in previous videos. So if you want to see that, I'll have it linked in the cards and in the description box below. For my morning pages notebook, I've been using the MD Idea Diary notebook. I'll have to double check that, but I'll have it linked off in the description box below so you can check it out. It's a really awesome notebook for fountain pens. I've used a couple so far and have really enjoyed the quality of the paper. It's really smooth, but the pages aren't too thick. So I feel like I really like this is gonna sound really nerdy, but I really like the feeling of turning the page. So very specific, but I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about. What I find really interesting about this particular notebook is that it's a semi-grid setup. The lines for the grid don't actually meet, if that makes sense. So at a glance, it does look like a grid, but it's not fully grid, if that makes sense. There's also little markers to divide the page, which I like. I think it kind of pays homage to the bullet journal system and how like it was formatted, as we were talking about earlier. So I like that. I like anything that makes my life a little bit easier and helps me plan out what I'm doing in any particular setup. But for my morning pages, it's pretty lax to begin with. It's really just a space for me to pour out my stream of consciousness, and I like it so far. This is a really great notebook, but any notebook will do for morning pages. And I really can't imagine my life without morning pages now that I've been practicing it for so long. Yes, it's been a while, a couple weeks now, I'd say, since my last entry, but it's just nice to know that that resource is there for me to fall back on for any of life's, ups and downs. So definitely a really great journaling routine if you haven't honed in on one already. So believe it or not, that's it for my 2022 planner and journal lineup. I've simplified it a lot in comparison to what I've shared this past year, and understanding what my needs are at this time. It's just sort of the bare bones, and I feel like this covers all of the bases. So when I look ahead in terms of this upcoming year, this gives me a really great foundation to work off of. I foresee myself using this into the first quarter of the year at the very least, and perhaps I'll branch off and add more in the following quarters of the year, but I think this is what I will continue to come back to in 2022. I don't know, you'll just have to stay tuned to see how this system evolves, but I would love to hear from you. What are you planning to use for this upcoming year for your planners and journals? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it with a pen friend who you think might also enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe and to turn on those notifications, that way you don't miss any of our videos. I just want to say thank you for your patience with my sporadic new uploading schedule. School, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out a good routine and how uploading videos will play into that. So while I don't have a set video schedule to share with you right now, I would love to invite you to watch any of the other videos here on my channel, but I promise that I haven't forgotten about you and all of the wonderful words of encouragement that you've shared with me. So sending you all lots of virtual hugs. Hope to see you guys again soon and to chat more about pen and paper. Please take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.